Welcome back to This McCrazy Wife. In today's video, I am sharing a new favorite cookie recipe in our house. This recipe can be found on Old Farmer's Almanac website, and I will link it below. I've made a few changes to the recipe, and I will list those below as well. These cookies are so hearty and delicious, sweet enough for dessert, but hearty enough for breakfast. So let's get baking. We're starting out with whole wheat pastry flour. Now the recipe calls for all-purpose flour and whole wheat flour, but I'm just using this. Next, I'm adding in ground flaxseed meal in place of the toasted wheat germ the recipe called for. Next goes in the baking soda, the salt, and the ground cinnamon, and I like to add a little extra of that. I'm going to give that a good whisk. And now into the mixer, I'm dropping in 2 sticks of softened unsalted butter, brown sugar, and the molasses. Molasses on its own is truly one of the worst smelling ingredients, but added into a recipe with brown sugar and cinnamon, it is one of my absolute favorites. Now I just added in the peanut butter also. I told you this was hearty and delicious, but just keep watching because there's even more. We're going to mix that up really well. Keep stopping and scraping the bowl as needed. I'm adding in 2 eggs along with the vanilla extract. I like to crack the eggs into a separate bowl and add the vanilla in with it. I try to add 1 egg at a time and mix it up before adding the next egg. We're mixing and more mixing until it's well combined, it's smooth and fluffy. And since there will be a lot of ingredients added into this bowl, I want to make sure I scrape it down after each addition. This smells amazing already, by the way. It's time to add in the dry ingredients, and I do a quick pulse on and off to keep the flour inside the bowl instead of all over my kitchen. Now, once that's combined, I add in the old-fashioned oats, raisins, which I'm doing kind of slowly because my raisins tend to want to stick together. Then chocolate chips. I like to use semi-sweet chocolate chips, and chopped pecans. The recipe actually calls for walnuts, but I do not like walnuts, so we're substituting pecans. I tried pulsing the mixer again, but I made a big mess. It really is easier if you mix in 1 ingredient at a time at this point, but also that takes more patience than I can sometimes muster. I tell you what, I have put this mixer through a lot in the 18 years I have had it, and it just keeps going. But mix that in until the add-ins are all combined, and then you want to put the dough in the fridge for at least an hour. I divided my dough into 2 good-sized discs and wrapped them in plastic wrap. And then just pop them into the freezer, or I'm sorry, not the freezer, the refrigerator. Though you probably could put them in the freezer at that point and pull them out whenever you want some fresh cookies. After the dough is chilled, I used a large cookie scoop to portion it out. I rolled the dough into balls and flattened them slightly with a fork. I did leave a decent amount of space between the cookies so they don't run into each other, though later on you're going to see they still ran into each other a little bit. I do put 2 cookie sheets in the oven at the same time, and I just rotate them partway through the bake time. These baked at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. I cooled them on the cookie sheets for about 5 minutes or so before transferring them to a cooling rack. Now, I have made these multiple times now, and they do not last long in our house. They are crisp on the outside, but soft and chewy on the inside. They're addicting, honestly, so be prepared. These are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up, and my son even enjoys them for a breakfast. Now, I can't wait to have these in the summer when we're spending the day hiking, but they are perfect for cozy winter days too. I hope you give these a try and let me know in the comments what you think. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks again for watching This McCrazy Wife, and I will see you next time.